So they'll be calling you a radical. The era is over. And I don't think people have a clue how culturally significant Jay Hill was to this university. I don't think people have a clue. I'm going to tell you. And I think what pushed him over the top, he was on the fence, was the selection committee screwing them. We were all set up for a home game here. We were positive we had a home game here. Fuck, a bye and then a home game here. Whoops. You know, so it's horrible what's happened as far as Jay leaving, but I can't believe he got it out as long as he did. Let's talk about this. And get your jersey on, your football on. So, it's over. So, I did the play-by-play here for years and years and years. The worst coach in the history of college football was here, Jody Sears. He was the worst. This was the most corrupt football program in the United States, bar none. Losing this program. They had no local players. They were horrid. Money missing all over. It was incredible, the corruption here. It was over the top, actually, the corruption. When Jay Hill came in here, so the NCAA gave him the death sentence. That's it. It's over. Gave him the death sentence. Twice. So in the 90s, this was corrupt, bleeding money. So Bruce Hanley was an All-American football player here who I worked for when we were the #1 school business in the country. He was the chair of the finance department. He and Clyde Cooley, I worked for him. He's like, kill it. Get rid of it. We'll bring in men's soccer. It's just bleeding so much money. So they came in, Sports Illustrated interviewed. I'm standing right next to him in the interview. What's the chances of turning this corrupt, money-losing nightmare around? Bruce Hanley, a snowball's chance in hell. And everybody wanted it gone. It was ugly around here. I did the play-by-play. I gutted through all these years. So when Jay takes over, Rashid Shaheed, TJ, Adam Rodriguez, Jonah Williams, Mr. Opeta with the Eagles. I mean, what players here. What incredible, what Jay did here. It's way more than football. Way more than football. Rashid's story is so paramount in this. Kevin Blanch's story is so paramount in this because I had leukemia. So did Jay's wife. Hers wasn't deadly, mine was. And so, it was so bad. I remember my little grandson, I'd do the play-by-play right up there, and he'd go right down on the field, cheerleaders. It was the Mud Dogs. They were that bad and that corrupt. I told Jay Hill, are you out of your mind? They got the death sentence twice. They were that pathetic. And I mean, it was ugly. So Jay Hill started recruiting local players. And turned it around. It's one of the greatest turnarounds in sports history. Like Rashid's story. The NFL's so fucking stupid they didn't draft Rashid. Rashid played in that last game. I told him I would. So was ACL, that's too. He didn't get drafted. There's a player right there on coaching. So, oh, it's cold. I think what pushed Jay over the top of finally taking this, I was on the field doing the play-by-play. I did the play-by-play right there in the end zone on the main game. Got froze to death. The water's curse. There's a curse. Jay's finally had to learn the hard way. This school has never won a big game in the history of its school. Ask Damian Lillard if you don't fucking believe me. The players that Jay Hill recruited and put on this field, unbelievable. What a run, man. It's much, much more. He started recruiting born and raised in Utah players. 75% of this team is homegrown. And they're good. They're really good. The selection committee screwed him. I think that probably pushed him over on, but BYU had stole our offensive coordinator, already. I'm surprised Jay stayed as long as he did. But I can't say enough about it. Now, what will happen? Will we go backwards? I don't know, because the athletic department's a joke up here. It's pathetic. This school got the death penalty twice. the most corrupt football program in the United States. Bar none. Nobody knows more about it than I know. I remember my little grandson running on the field, and TJ, who plays for the Bills now, during the game. Fuck, nobody went to these games. Fuck, I think they won one home game in like 4 or 5 years with these bad coaches. Graybill's still here. How beyond me? He would punt consistently on third down. Jody Sears went to Sac State and ruined that program. And Taylor has turned around using the Jay Hill model. So, hate to see him go, but I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. It's one of the true great turnarounds. It's more than football. I remember talking to Rashid's mom and dad one time here. Well, who's writing a book? I says, I am. I mean, publish. So it's over. Jay Hill era is over. Unbelievable, right? Will we go forward? Or we go back? Update. Lost a lot of heartbreaking big games. Including, I got this in the streets of Brooklyn, including the Salukis game right there on the last play. The main game, that push in the back, Jonah Williams. Fuck, I don't know how that. The great Josh Davis. It went, I mean, he came in quietly, he left quietly. That loss up at Montana State, end of an era. End of an era. I don't want to pitch it to the land in the field. Will they keep it rolling? Who will they hire? Well, we saw what happened to the basketball team. Of course, Randy Ray ruined that program when they fired Ron Baglin. The basketball program got ruined when they hired Randy Ray. Can't win with Damian Lillard, Sherry Carding, fucking Jeremy Sieglin, Scotty Banforth. This team won 4 Big Sky championships in a row. Great Rashid Shaheed. So, hate to see him go. This is much, much more what he was able to do here than football. He changed the entire community. He tried, he's friends. My grandsons are friends with Jay. Watch my kids grow up. My grandsons with Rashid has been such a mentor to my grandkids. Watching him never give up, overcome all this adversity. Will Weaver say go backwards? I don't know, but my hunch, most likely. They got a lot of great talent here, so whoever gets the job is going to inherit one great team. They got a bunch of great returning players. So whoever gets the job is going to be lucky. So, hate to see him go. It's way more than football. What he did, I talked to him so many times. I had a hunch. When he ran off the field, me and my grandson talked to him over at the Union that last game. Had breakfast with him over there. Took pictures with my grandson. When he came off the field, I talked to him, and I just had a gut feeling that was it. It'd be the last time Jay Hill played on this, and he coached this team on this field. But he's a legend. It's truly one of the greatest turnaround culturally in sport history in a community. Now, will we go backwards? I'm surprised he got it out as long as he did. And I'm sure the selection committee screwing him. And they got screwed, Weaver. Finally, the Wattis curse. He knows, he's listened to Kevin Blanch long enough to know about the Wattis curse. How this school is, this community's corrupt. Weaver County's corrupt. The school's corrupt, and Rod Morton's trying to, we're up against a culture of corruption. Ask Vaughn McKay Brody, ask Wat Masaka, ask Trevon Smith, ask Kevin Blanch, the foremost famous alumnus in the history of the school. Vaughn McKay Brody, Wat Masaka, Trevon Smith, Kevin Blanch, and nobody even knows their fucking names. They won't mention it. Well, I really appreciate you, Jay, everything you fucking did. It's amazing. So he's at BYU now. So, it's truly one of the greatest turns around in sport culture history. A snowball's chance in Hill. It's over. Where will we go from here? Don't know. Stay tuned.